Let's talk about the number of people taking driver awareness courses for offences such as speeding, as they're at a record high. The Sunday Times says police are believed to have earned up to £87 million for classes in the last year alone. Almost 2 million people completed a course in 2023. I did one a few years ago, actually. 9.5% increase on 2022 and up 30% from 5 years ago. So is our driving getting worse, or are we being fleeced? Well, Nick Freeman is a solicitor specialising in traffic offences. Nick, if you very, illegally and sadly get done for speeding, this is a better idea than getting the points, isn't it?
It is. It's not just speeding. It can be going through a red light. It can be driving without due care and attention. It covers a whole host of minor driving breaches. It's not the major ones, it's the minor ones. And it's educational. So the driver doesn't have to accept the course. He has an option. If he or she accepts the course, they typically have to pay up to about £95. They don't have court costs. They don't have 3 penalty points on their licence. They don't have an enhanced insurance premium as a consequence of that conviction. And most drivers would opt for the course. I would always advise someone to take the course because it's obviously to benefit themselves. It's educational, and you do learn things. You do pick things up, and it does, I think, make you a better driver in the short term.
Have you ever taken one?
I have taken one, yes. I took one right at the start of COVID. When there was no traffic on the road, and the speed limit on a dual carriageway had been brought from 40 down to 30, and I was doing, I think, about 35, 36 miles an hour. I'm ashamed to say, and I got flashed by a camera, was offered the course, and I took the course. There were 4 of us who took the course that day, and it was fascinating, very interesting. I enjoyed it.
You enjoyed it. I did one. It was 4 hours of my life I'm never going to get back. I remember it cost £76 at the time. It was just over 10 years ago. So you mentioned the prices going up, and I remember you had to pay for a cup of tea and a biscuit in the break, which I thought was a bit mean, given you'd paid so much. But I found it, to be honest, a bit boring, but obviously it was educational, and a lot of people are finding this as well. But is this just a tactic, actually, given the numbers have gone up to such a degree, and 87 million quid for the police? Do you think this is actually, they're perhaps clamping down on people? Are drivers getting worse, do you think? Or are they just taking these courses a bit more?
I don't think drivers are getting worse at all. I think we're seeing a proliferation now of reduced speed limits, artificially low. I mean, the 20 mile an hour speed limit, in my view, as a blanket rollout, is a complete joke. It's counterintuitive to travel at that speed. It's not the natural rhythm of a car. It's not the natural rhythm of a human. And more people are going to fall foul of it. The police get that £87 million is comprised of £45 at a time. So every course you do, the police get £45. So there's an awful lot of courses, if you've already indicated, and that's on the increase because motorists are easy target. Everyone's short of cash, and why not hit the motorists?
Is this part of a war on the motorists, do you think? Is this what's behind this? Surely they just want people to slow down.
Look, there's no statistically difference in terms of safety or carbon emissions between 20 and 30. There's literally no difference. Obviously, if you hit someone at 30, you're going to cause them more damage, but the statistics show that it's actually no safer. There's no less accidents because of the 20 mile an hour limit, and I think actually it encourages people to do things more unlawfully because they're bored. Most drivers drive very carefully, and these revenue-inspired schemes are basically that the top end is 10% plus 9. So we're talking about typically minor breaches of people travelling at 23, 24, 25 miles an hour in a 20. Now, there's nothing dangerous about that when you bear in mind that cyclists are obviously often undertaking and overtaking and not subject to speed limits at all. So I don't think we're driving badly. I don't think we're driving faster. I think the speed limits are coming down, and most drivers are now confronted with a whole range of different things on our roads which are alien and very difficult to manage it all at the same time. I think driving as a whole has probably improved. I think motorway driving is appalling. A lot needs to be done about that, but we're not here to talk about that now. But this is definitely cash inspired. We're an easy target.
Nick, thank you. Nick Freeman there, a Manchester-based solicitor specialising in traffic offences. I was actually